Hello everyone, welcome back to Cursethedawn Late Night Gaming. Here in Area 18, during Invictus. Obviously we are on the last day of Anvil because I rented a couple of beauties here. To the left is the Anvil Valkyrie. This is a person dropship, human dropship, soldier dropship. And then to the right here is the new Asgard, which is setting the community on fire. This is a vehicle dropship. And the interesting thing is that the Asgard has 180 SCU of cargo it can carry and costs $325 US. The Valkyrie has less cargo and costs $375 US. So that's confusing some people. They call it the dropship tax, I guess. But let's take a look at them one right after another. As you can see, they're pretty similar, but they aren't. So we've got a missile rack on the front and a turret on the, missile rack on the top and a turret on the top of the Valkyrie. And the Valkyrie turret is manned, and then it's got manned turrets on each of their those little wings or whatever you'd call them. Whereas the Asgard has this missile rack that is not manned. It is piloted. It's by the pilot. The pilot also has guns. So it has 4 guns. You can see under the cockpit there, and then more on the shoulders. It has lots of guns. In fact, I think it's more than 4. We'll look when we get in there. And then the Valkyrie has just the 2 for the pilot. So it kind of looks a lot like on paper that the Asgard is the badder of the meaner of the 2, and so people were a little confused why it's more expensive for the Valkyrie. Anyway, let's take a look here. This is a manned turret on the belly here. And playing around with it, you can look down and lift the whole ship off the ground with it. So that's nice to know. So yeah, it looks like the pilot has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guns. Whereas the pilot here has these 2. And of course, if you have friends, you can have one friend in that gun over here. One friend in the turret on top, and then another friend over here in that gun. The Asgard, on the other hand, has traded its little wing-mounted guns for more thrusters. The idea being that it's lifting vehicles, not people, so it needs more thrust. So let's go inside and take a look here. Let's walk around the Asgard first. You can see here I love comparing the 2 because I mean these thrusters are identical. But and then that part is also not exactly the same, but similar. Okay, so let's walk around it. Is this anything? Nope. I wanted to do the land these 2 out on the top of one of Area 18's buildings and compare them out there. But it's always nighttime here. It feels like. So I didn't want to try to do it in the dark. I thought, let's see if we can get them both out in the hangar, and I was able to, so that's cool. Now this has never been taken out. It comes pre-weathered. It supposedly has, we all, I think, saw the video that CIG released talking about how this is a beefier cargo door because it's supposed to be carrying vehicles again in the narrative. And they show it with a Nova in the back. Yeah, it's pretty beefy. And in fact, in the concierge store, you can buy this with a Nova. They come together in one pack. I don't know if that's in the regular store or not. So here we got the clothes and these lights. Yep. Here's warning. That's pretty cool. Gotta kind of fiddle with it to get it to. And then this is, not sure. Just saying what it is, I guess. There we go. That seems off. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so this holds 180 SCU in here, stacked in the center. It's really good for what to do, kind of. I kind of think of this ship when it's not hauling vehicles, it's kind of its off-duty time, you know. Here's your fuses that everyone steals. You can control the ramp from here. That's sweet. Here's a side door control. This has the same controls on this side. Now can you... do I have to start it up to mount this gun? I might. Nope. You can deploy it. Ballistic, so I don't mess people up. Someone was complaining, why do I want it on this side, why don't I want it on the other side? But I think it's fine. I don't know. So then how do you put it back? How do you undeploy it? How do you? Do you just shut the door? Nope. Can you deploy it without? Yes. Where is it on here? Just in front of the... Should be like right here. Oh, you kind of gotta use the radial. Retract. Okay. What do we have here? Storage. So when you come jumping on here with all your armfuls of armor and loot, you can just shove it right in there. Now, take note of this opening here. This is different in the Valkyrie. And there's a reason why. Is this another storage here? It is. Here are a few seats for your passengers. Components. Wonder why that bottom one didn't open. Didn't need to, I suppose. Life supports. More fuses for people to steal. This side is gravity generation. And then this is identical on this side. Shield access. And that's the cooler. Back here, of course, is the belly turret. As I said, you can lift the ship up with it, so... Here we are looking out the front of the ship. See? Yeah. Yeah, you're definitely going to see a lot of these flying around and being rented. They were bigger talk than I think the Guardian MX was. And I was really impressed with that ship. The MX was fun. All right, up here on the top deck, you can't jump off this edge. That's just an annoying thing. I don't understand their logic for that. It's not a jump that would hurt you, so why do they care if you make it? You can't even jump. There is a trick. This thing has a switch on it, though, that you can lock, I guess, to keep people from coming up. But the trick, too, if you don't want to, like, you're on a hurry to get down, just turn around this way and just... Boom, you're down. Just kind of skip the ladder, you know? So over on this side, we have a bathroom. And we have the toilet and no mirror or anything, because in battle you don't care what you look like. Oh, there's a little mirror. Yep. Then this side is the bunks. This is also very different in the Valkyrie. And this is a little bit more posh. Every bunk has its own little TV, so you can sit there and watch. Apparently, the Anvil network. Suit racks and weapon racks. Big weapons and regular weapons and small pistols, and it's got it all. Pretty sure. I think all I have with me is a multi-tool. Inappropriate item. So that's meant for pistols. This isn't a work vehicle. This is some kind of food dispenser that may or may not ever work. It says espresso. These doors in the Asgard have these cool little like glass. They're neat. The Valkyrie has them too. And then the mechanism on the door, you can see there's like a secondary. It opens, then opens, and then opens. You know, pretty cool. I don't think there's anything else here. Nope. This button pushes. What does it do? Nothing. There it goes. It just says computers right there.
All systems online.
All right, that's very interesting. The guns show 1, 2, 3, 4 Panthers. I thought there was 4. Let's do a little. Two on top, 2 on the bottom. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shots. That's 6 shots, but it's showing. Maybe it's just not showing them all. Oh, I'm wrong. Yeah, there's more here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Yep. It scrolls. Yeah, this has a lot of guns for the pilot. Plus the missiles. All the missiles are the pilots too. If I turn on Toby, yeah, good view. It says Asgard there. Asgard. Then you can see through the floor. Does it have any surprises here in the controls? Let's see. Power. Nope. Anything on the seat? No. Exterior, engine on off. Exit. that looks like it. So yeah, you can tell they're from the same family, but... And then the Paladin also has a similar look. And quite honestly, the Terrapin has a similar look too. I love the whole turtley anvil look. I like it a lot.
All systems offline.
Okay, so we took a pretty good look at the Asgard here. So let's jump over to the Valkyrie. Okay, let's do the trick. There we go. Did we leave that open? No. So one thing to note, the Asgard has buttons to open and close the rear hatch. The Valkyrie does not. They are nowhere to be found on the Valkyrie. It has the old school floating button. Just floating out in the middle of space. And then we look at the gate. Yeah, much flimsier and thin, for sure. Visually, at least. By the way, before we go, the MTC, I parked it over here, I rented it. The rental time is way over, and I still have it sitting here. I did not buy it. It's just sitting here. I don't know. Yeah, so it has these, which are much, I don't know, this is just a flimsier feeling than the other one. And then when you enter, there's no lights or controls here. It's again just the floating close the door button. I assume all of this is going to get an upgrade someday. And then here, remember I said note that this is very different? Yeah, it's got railings and it has this whole piece here instead of being able to see up into it. And that's because this is where the roof turret is. You get into the roof turret through here. So having removed that on the Asgard, they don't have this in the way. It doesn't have the cool switch to open and close the gate, the rear hatch, or does it? No. I'm pressing it, F. Oh, it's the blast door. So yeah, they've got this cool thing for troops. It makes sense for troops. If you had a vehicle, you'd just go out there and just ram everybody over, and I think they even showed that in their trailer. But this is like a place to crouch and take cover and shoot if you're trying to get troops off. Didn't make any sound, so I didn't turn around. So that is missing on the Asgard, which there's a reason why it's missing. So that's pretty cool. That's one for the Valkyrie. Another floating trigger. Same situation with the guns here. And does it have the same deployment situation? Yep. Is this the... What are these? Oh. Yep. Storage. Individual storage. Then, of course, here we have seats and seats and seats because this is a troop carrier. Component panels haven't really been implemented yet in here. So the Valkyrie's looking dated when you compare it.
Aegis combat assist activated. Systems green.
All right, again, same situation. None of these work. Lots of seats, no crossover between them through here like it had. More lockers. All right, now we get up here. We have the lock button's not there. We have just bunks. The bathroom is still the bathroom, different mirror. Actually, I think the bathroom is actually forward a bit where this bunk is. So this has bunk for 1, 2, 3, 4. No TVs. Food. Another bunk. I assume this is like captain, pilot's bunk, and these are troop bunks. I don't know. You can make up any narrative you want. These have the cool doors. Yep. And then, of course, here is the top turret, which is why it's different than the...
Anvil Aerospace. All systems online.
I can't tell if it's moving just me or the gun. It doesn't look like... It could be because the ship's not on. Yeah, probably. I can't move it at all. And then we have the 2 turret seats for the little gun on the side. Let's turn it on just to make sure we can...
Anvil Aerospace. All systems online.
This is not a thing yet. So yeah, it's a little behind. The Valkyrie's a little behind. I'm certain if you own a Valkyrie, I'm certain they're going to update all of this stuff. Okay. That's nothing. Power off, and what is remote? Enter remote turret. Okay, you would be running this little gun. Looks like you got a shotgun, basically, or a machine gun. I'm doing it with the mouse. Let me see what it feels like with the stick. Yeah, that's way better. All the way behind you. I don't know what size of weapon this is. But that's something the Asgard doesn't have. So if you have more friends than a couple, they're not going to have anything to do. So if you have a lot of friends you hang out with, this would be the Valkyrie would probably be a better choice because they've got more for everybody to do. And of course, this one is the same thing on the other side. Let's go back to the turret here. Here we are. We have some life now. Oh yeah, way better. So some very distinct differences between these two ships. Obviously they are different ships. One's for carrying troops and one's for carrying vehicles. And then if you're a solo player, they did add a cargo grid to the Valkyrie. So they did add a cargo grid to the Valkyrie and it holds 90 SCU, which is not anything. I mean, my Corsair holds 72. So this is still legit cargo grid, but the Asgard's 180, so almost 100 more. I mean, math, but so I don't know. Let's take the Asgard out and see how it flies. I don't want the video to go on forever, but I mean, the main showcase is the Asgard. We all know the Valkyrie. I've got other videos on the Valkyrie. So let's take the Asgard out. Oh crap, there's a long wait. All right, I'll bring you guys back when we're getting out of the hangar because it looks like it's going to be a while. Looks like we got a little overlap happening between the instanced hangars. It's a busy night. Got lots of hanging ships.
Shields offline.
It does pretty good. Easy to handle. But I kind of feel like all Anvil ships are. Like, I kind of like drive around mostly. I was using my cutter and stuff, or the black. And then I got the Terrapin, and I'm just like, God, this thing is just such a smooth daily driver, you know?
Quantum drive is now on. Quantum drive is now off.
Oh, a little laggy out here tonight. Should we go to Walla? It's right there in front of me, so might as well go to it, huh?
Quantum drive is now on.
Let's go to a mining facility with a 4 in it. We don't have to search around, we can just type it in, but... Go to Shady Glen and get a bunch of weapons again. Let's see here. I kind of want to shoot something. There, this one's got a 4. No, it's no slouch. No ships out here. All right. So the reason I want to go to a mining facility with a 4
Shields online.
is because with both mining facilities with a 4, if I'm remembering correctly, you come out here and you turn to... It was like, I can't remember if it was 170 or 70. I think it was 170. So if we go like basically that direction, probably where that ship is. I love the cockpit in this. Huh, that's a lightning. That is not what we were looking for. Okay, if we get back on track here, 170, 174. If you get too high though, you can't see it. Basically, both of them lead to a crash site with guys walking around. Much easier to find at night, but usually it's when the green starts is where you're gonna find it. Yep, right there. Okay. This is Caterpillar crash site. Can't say that fast. Caterpillar crash site. Somebody's wrecked ship is here. There usually are troops walking around. Do they... Hold on, let me turn off Toby so I don't make everyone vomit. There we go. So if we look here... Contract... Mercenary... Nope. They don't have the shoot general bad guys contract anymore. Called Arms, it was called. That's gone. But that doesn't mean it's still not fun to shoot bad guys. It's not still fun. It is still fun. So that is a Mantis. Looks like. Mantis wreckage. I don't know if the Mantis video is going to come out before or after this one, but was not in love with the Mantis. And I decided, you know, let's take it out for another spin, and there's a guy right there. My weapons aren't on. I said, let's take the Mantis out. And give it another try because I hated it. I still didn't like it. Jesus Christ, this thing's nasty. It's always hard to hit people on the ground, but it's still fun to hit people on the ground. He's just not there anymore. Damn, this thing just lights stuff up. I guess that's not going to blow up more, it seems. No, I think that would be gone by now, I think. He might be dead. Do you see the slight heat distortion off the top of the dash there? That's pretty cool. Yeah, I could jump out and get their guns and all that, but I've got plenty of Ninetales armor. Don't really need it. Just came out here for some legal human killing. They go sliding down the hill. Sometimes on a rare occasion, the Nine-Tails Cutlass will show up and you can blow it up, but yeah, my controller's still drifting. Look, I let go of it, and here's what happens. It's really annoying. All right, guys, there you have it. This is the Anvil Asgard. Just came out. Compared to the Valkyrie, I don't know. Right now, the Valkyrie needs some catching up. Needs some work. Comparatively. My brother was a huge Valkyrie fan, wanted one so bad. I think he's now on the Asgard train. Because why wouldn't you be? It's better in almost every way. Unless you're looking to carry troops. Or lots of friends. If it's just you and another friend, you've probably set with this ship. Alright guys, so I'm going to wrap this video up here. A new video every Friday as usual. And during Invictus, you'll know if it's a rented Invictus ship, because I'll put the little Invictus ship in the little Invictus symbol in the thumbnail. Of course, I have another channel if you're interested in other video games outside of Star Citizen. All links to those are in the channel description. And have a great weekend. And of course, if you see me out in the verse, if you see Captain Curse out there, don't hesitate to say hi. All right, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.